Hey everybody, it's Brian F here, and I'm joined with Justin Wong.
Justin Wong, once again, at the top.
Brian, thank you for having me. I'm really excited to see what you got for me here.
Well, what I got for you is we're going to be blind ranking your best moments, 10 of them today. Let's go ahead and bring up the first one here, and we have the Wong factor.
Having to rank the Wong factor, like obviously Wong factor is kind of like where people start choking, they drop their combos, and they just try to like end the round for no apparent reason when there's like 70 seconds on the clock. So because of that, like mistakes can happen, and then that's where my luck comes out. My lucky charms comes out of nowhere because people are so impatient and trying to finish me up real fast. I don't want to give it number one. I think I'll give it number two, like a strong start number two, just because I feel like the Wong factor is
number two.
It's such a big thing in my name.
And moving on to the next moment, we have Justin getting friend zoned. Justin, what's this?
Look at me! Look at the pose I'm doing. I got the little sideway going to the left.
You're nailing it, man.
This pose right here, it started with Rose Ma. Rose Ma's a famous cosplayer. She was like, "Hey, let's take a picture." So then she was like, "Hey, can we do this?" And I was like, "All right, cool, whatever." I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. And then she posts on the internet, and I guess a lot of people on the internet are like, "Oh, look, it's a hot girl versus a dweeb, right? A nerd." So then for some reason it became super popular. More people came to take pictures with me doing that compared to like, "Hey, I want to take a picture of you because you're good at fighting games." No, I want to take a picture because you are a meme of the friend zone picture. I met a lot of people doing this, so I'm gonna put it as number 4.
You know what, Justin? I think there's a reason why you're able to take this in such stride and roll with it and turn it into a positive, because there's been another meme or maybe a moment that has been at maybe the genesis of your career, of your legend. Of course, I'm talking about Evo moment number 37, the Daigo parry. Tell us about it.
So obviously this happened during 2004. There's no YouTube. There's no like Twitch or anything where it's like you could download like files, right? So when you're at the arcade, that's kind of where you learn. So then it's a lot of talking and not a lot of labbing, right? So then there's people telling like they're just throwing out like Chun-Li super, it's not parryable. So I'm just thinking, okay, it's not parryable, right? So that I believe you. This was 2004 Evo in Pomona. The Thursday there was a pre-tournament. I was there for Third Strike. Daigo was there too, and he beat me there 2-1. So I'm so excited to fight Daigo because I already have kind of data of how did I fight him last time and what I can do better. This is kind of where I think the Wong factor actually came from as well too. Because if you look at it, why did I have to throw the super? There's 26 seconds left on the clock. But I just threw the super and he parried the whole thing. It was crazy. Everyone started going ham. And I think the crazy part about this moment was that this moment went viral in our community, obviously, but it did not go viral to the world until YouTube came around, or like more live stream came around. We just thought it was just another moment. We didn't think anything like what would happen after this, like how it could change our lives, how it did change our lives. So it is a really crazy moment. I obviously want to put it as high as possible, but I just feel like you guys are tricking me with the rest, and there's something that's deep in there, and I don't want to put it as number 1 because I'm like, I might regret it. I'm gonna put it the safe option. It's gonna be a number 3, the safe option.
Okay. Remember, once you select the spot on this list for the moment, it's locked in. No moving around, no changing it. So you got to make sure, think about it carefully for where you place these moments. The next one, we have family.
You see, that's why I thought 100%. That's why I thought, I was like, all right, once you put the Wong factor in, and then I'm like, oh, this is not just my matches. It's not my whatever. It's kind of my life. I realize I gotta save number one just in case if there's family involved. Becoming a family man is like always been a dream come true for me since I was like kind of like a teenager, just because I didn't have the best upbringings. I was really just dirt poor. I never met my mom. And then, you know, like my dad just wasn't there. So my grandma took care of me. She didn't have no education, no English, just kind of just working as like a janitor. So my goal was to really like somehow, you know, make her happy, and gaming happened, you know. And you know, at first she was like, it's a waste of time. She's the one that got me like seeing all these people playing fighting games. It really meant a lot because I felt like if she didn't push that avenue to me, I probably wouldn't be doing this, right? And then I met my wife Jackie. During that time, my grandma, you know, she's dementia, and you know, like she was getting older, and she kind of just pretty much stopped eating, just gave up on life. It seemed like it was like ready to go. So then my last thing I could do was, you know, bring my wife to Las Vegas to tell my grandma, you know, we're getting married, and you know, she's pregnant. Once I told her that, like my dad told me she started training lifting up with watermelon, and I'm just thinking like, why watermelons, right? And in my head, oh, it's because she wants to hold her future great-granddaughter. We had like this giant party, went to Vegas, you know, like introduced Harper to my grandma, and she knew her name. She was like calling out for her, like, you know, like wanted to lift her up and able to lift her up high. And she worked really hard to like have that one more chance to see like, oh, this is like my great-granddaughter. And it's such a hard moment to pass. Like, it's just, I think about it so much, and you know, my grandma meant the world to me, and she still does. Like, I always tell people, like, if I have to think of a hero, like she's the one that like made me who I am today. That's kind of why I kept the easy number one spot open. You know, this is 100% the number one spot for me.
Of course.
Yeah, you guys were gonna. I knew it. I just felt it. Like, this is not even scripted. I felt it in my heart, in my mind, that something like this would happen. So yeah, we have to put this as number one.
Beautiful. I'm glad you kept the number one spot open, because after that beautiful story, we might have had to break the rules.
Yeah.
I couldn't let you say all that and then put them at number 4. So
yeah, right.
So great strategy for everyone involved there, Justin. But unfortunately, we got to move on to the next moment, which I think is rather beautiful, but I'll leave that up to your decision. We're talking about the barrel roll.
The barrel roll.
Which there's more to it than that. So tell us about this moment.
Well, this is Evo 2014. And the crazy part about this is that I went to every tournament during this time. So I went to like Tech Showdown, Conberger, CEO, Final Round, all the major tournaments, right? In North America. I fought Chris G in every single one of them, and I got second to him every single time. Or I lost to him, right, along the way.
He was unstoppable. You mentioned losing him for 6 months straight. It wasn't just you, it was everybody on the planet. Chris G was winning tournament after tournament, and then finally you get that last hit. And walk us through that moment.
I get excited, and I just want to pop off, right? But I don't know what happened, but I got so excited that my legs got numb, and I just like fell to the ground. You know, people will say it's the barrel roll, that's like his pop off, but like, you know, I actually fell, right? So in my head, once I was falling, like just face flat to the ground, I'm thinking, how do I recover from this? Like, how do I turn this into something cool? I just rolled.
You gotta tech the knockdown.
I teched the knockdown. I barrel rolled, and then I got up right. For some reason, my legs became unnumb right away. And I got up and popped off, like did the second pop off, and everyone was like, yo, that was a pop off. And I'm like, all right, bro. I'll take it.
Justin Wong, once again, at the top of the mountain.
I'm going to have to put this at number 7.
Okay, wow.
Yeah, I'll put this as number 7.
Yeah, I like it. We're getting a bit more critical. But that said, we're going to see if you're still critical of the next one here, because we have the legendary, the formative Chinatown Fair Arcade.
Fair.
Tell us about this one.
You know, this is where I grew up. This is where I met all my best friends. And this arcade was actually probably the reason why I got into tournaments as well too. Because one morning I just see a horde of people, like at least 50 people outside Chinatown Fair, and I'm asking them why are people here? They're like, oh, there's a tournament happening, all right? And I entered the tournament. I got 5th place out of like 300 people, like my first tournament ever for like Marvel 1 and Third Strike. And ever since then, I got the tournament itch, right? I started like going to more tournaments. I started running local tournaments at Chinatown Fair for like all the games to get people to come out more. And every Friday night, I kid you not, it's like a party. Even now, like when I go to New York, I just always want to take a picture of the outside.
Because of the stories that you and others have told, it's become like a pilgrimage rite. It's very formative, not just to you, yourself, and a lot of the New York FTC, but it's become an icon to fighting game players for where the arcade culture really began, especially for the East Coast. So that said, where do you place it, Justin?
I'm gonna put this at number 6. I'm gonna put this as number 6 just because it's literally like where like people I still talk to this day, like they're from Chinatown. We play games still, we hang out, like some of them were my best men at my wedding, and if it wasn't for this place I wouldn't have met them, right? So gotta put that high.
Marvel versus Capcom, let us know what it means to you.
It means a lot because this is the reason why I met friends. Like all the people from like my junior high school would play Marvel vs. Capcom. And if you suck at it, you cannot beat a friend. I would spend the whole summer practicing these combos, doing like 50 hit combos with Strider. Like it just showed me this is how you play fighting games. Like at least this is how you do combos in fighting games.
So the series means a lot, but where does it go on the list?
The series do mean a lot, but then I would say over the years I play so many other fighting games that I appreciate like all those other fighting games as well too, right? So I'm gonna put it as like I'm gonna say I'm putting number 9 actually.
Number 9. Wow.
Number 9.
Okay.
Yeah, number 9.
You're getting very critical. Okay. As we're going on, you're making much more careful decisions, I see. 'Cause I almost wondered if this one would be in the top half before we started this.
I feel like the first 4 you guys threw out, they were really big. Like they're still hitting now.
Okay, well, that's interesting you put it at number 9 because we'll have to see how it stacks up against our next one here. Street Fighter. Talk to us about this one.
Street Fighter. I mean, Street Fighter made my career, right? Third Strike, Evil Moment, 37. I would say Street Fighter 4 is kind of what really blew up my career. Like it like segued into Evil Moment 37. And also about Street Fighter is the reason why I'm able to travel around the whole world. So ultimately, like playing at the highest level in a fighting game, it's always going to be Street Fighter, right? I'm going to put him at number 8. Number 8.
Okay, over Marvel. I guess it's time for us to pivot then to another moment here, and it coincides with your pivot with kind of your career, right? Talk to us about this one here: commentating, reporting, content creation. What do you think about
it? That's crazy because that's what I love doing right now. Like, I am so passionate right now with just doing content. Like, I'll watch random YouTube videos that's not fighting game related and just say, oh, how can I do this for fighting games? Like, how can I relate it to it, right? I love doing content, even if it's like trying new things. And I'm going to keep trying new things. And I don't see myself not stopping in terms of like making YouTube videos, doing content for like other stuff for a very long time, I think. So I'm going to have to put this as number 5 because it's my passion right now. Easily my passion right now.
Awesome. I can see why you would rank it that high, not put it dead last. But that means that this next moment, you rank dead last in your career, and that's all of your Evo wins. So content creation, middle of the pack, every Evo win you've ever accumulated, dead last. So tell us a bit about these Evo wins.
Winning Evo is always great. That's kind of like what people feel like the gold standard is on how to make it as a player. Is like, are you Evo champion? And yeah, I mean, it's really important to me. But it's also, last time I won Evo was 10 years ago. So it kind of makes sense. I feel like I'm just like a casual tryhard. That's just kind of what my name is now. It's just like, yeah, he just is a really good player that just likes to play and doesn't care about results because he has other priorities in life. It's tough because this is my favorite Evo moment and my favorite Evo win, because normally every other time I win Evo, nobody cheers because it was the whole East Coast versus West Coast rivalry. So everyone boos because I was from the East Coast, while, you know, there was civil war back in the day. So the fact when I heard all these people cheering for me, I actually almost cried on stage. Like once I got the trophy and everything, and it was tough. I was just like really surprised. Like, it was not something that I was used to. It's actually kind of fitting. It actually works out that I mean, to be number 10, to be honest, it kind of worked out actually.
It does work out. It sounds like you've made your peace. But that said, you're satisfied with number 10 for the Evo wins. Is there any last reflections on this list? Any regrets? Anything you feel like you nailed on the order of ranking the moments from your career?
Man, you know, I felt like I played good. Like, you know, I think I did good. The only thing I probably would have changed was maybe 8, 9, and 10. And, you know, obviously put the games as like the last two versus like, you know, Evo wins as being number 10, you know, but I think like the top choices, I guess number 2 could be like number 4.
Right.
But definitely number 1, perfect number 1.
Justin, thank you so much for being a part of this. Thank you for sharing these moments, and we appreciate you and all you've done for the FGC.
No, thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate it. It was really fun.
PlayStation